Hello YouTube, this is Zach, and today I'm going to be looking at a live performance of Monstruo by Otto. Apparently this song's pretty new, and I got a ton of requests when it came out. Check out Monstruo, check out Monstruo. But I kind of wanted to wait until it came out live. But I guess with Otto it doesn't really matter because I don't see her face anyway, but I'd rather hear a live performance in the studio one. Just, you know, it tends to work out better when I do analysis and things like that. So yeah, I don't know what to expect. As always, Otto's mind-blowing, and I never know what she's gonna do, and I half the time I don't know how to explain it. But yeah, let's go. I'm gonna do my best. Right off the rip. Wow, it's very aggressive. Back to that aggressive crazy stuff. There's more vibrato on her sound. Okay, so as always, give me 30 seconds of an Otto video and there's a million things to talk about. So just in this little bit of time, you've heard a combination of a really soft, disengaged, low-end sound when she began the verse. But she did a bunch of like really aggressive, I guess, raspy screams. I don't know what kind of scream that is. You know, we've talked about this a bit before. There's a lot of research and a lot of studies still being done on this stuff, and some of the lexicon of what is each sound is still kind of being determined. So I'm really reticent to get out there and say, okay, well, this is a false fold distortion, or this is a epiglottal distortion, or this is a fry scream. Like I try to stay away from that for now while the research is still being done. Mark Garrett is a guy that can talk about this stuff a little bit better. He was actually involved in a lot of this research. So check out Carter Vox Academy, but he does like a lot of the like really like super heavy metal stuff. But either way, all these sound effects kind of come from the same place. And a lot of times when people are making those raspy sounds, what we do know is that most of the time the sounds are being made above the vocal folds themselves. There are some people that can do some like raspy things with the folds, but I don't think that kind of thing is very good for you because you're sort of deliberately disrupting the vocal cord closure when you do that. And I'm never a fan of doing anything that disrupts the cord closure. What a lot of the science is finding is that most of these raspy sounds are happening above the vocal cords themselves, and we're kind of hearing the effects that the sound source itself is kind of changing by the effect that the motion above the folds has on it. And again, this is super unstudied stuff, so you know, we're all still trying to figure out exactly how it's done, but Otto clearly knocks this stuff out of the park. I pointed out while she was singing, I heard a lot more vibrato on her sound. Maybe it was... Yeah, like in this little series of lines right here, there's a lot more vibrato, that kind of wavy, you know, some people call it operatic sound. It's not really just for opera, but people tend to correlate operatic singing with vibrato. She has a lot more of that in this song. Than what I've heard before. And I wonder if it's just a sign of some development that she's had. Maybe she's, you know, been training that some. I don't know, but it's nice. I mean, you know, I always love hearing vibrato because it's sort of the, you know, the bread and butter of opera where I come from, you know, so I like hearing it. This kind of has this like Western flair, like almost like cowboy sound, or almost like a Spanish flamenco kind of thing. It's an interesting music sonic space for her to work in. It's a little bit different from what I've heard from the past. Like in the past, I've listened to stuff that kind of has almost like a carnival-esque effect. Some of it's been like straight metal, some of it's been jazz, some of it has been like Vocaloid, but this is very much like different, kind of come from a different space. But she's got all those classic Otto hallmarks, all the insanity in her singing sound. Let's just get through this again. Yeah. Crazy. Yep. There's that excellent motion up into the head voice. It almost actually made me think of Shakira and the way that she moved into the upper, because her head voice wasn't super high there, but when she did that flip up, it kind of went into like the moderately high part of the mixed voice. Not like crazy super high range stuff, but it gave the timbre that she used almost gave me that impression that Shakira makes when she sings. And one of the, you know, I've gotten questions about Shakira before, like how does she create that sound? Well, Otto here is making that sound too. And let me see if I can get straight to it so you can hear it. That little flip up right there, I actually stopped right on. I got lucky. That is typically from an increase in pharyngeal space. When you kind of hear this almost like Kermit the Froggy type sound. That comes from having a really, really open pharynx, and you're kind of moving the resonance and kind of stuffing it up in the back of the top of the mouth. That's where a lot of that type of sound comes from. So the crazy thing though is that she does it so quickly and moves back out of it so fast and gets right back into like the regular sort of modal registered chest voice singing like she does. That's always the most impressive thing to me about Otto, is how many different modalities of singing she has and how quickly she jumps from one to another. It just makes it sound like it's the easiest thing in the world. That's what's always mind-blowing to me about her. Okay, it's spoken voice type. That's cool. So what she did there is she kind of went from a duple to a triple in the rhythm that she's speaking at, and the music came in behind and matched the triple. So da 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 da, and then the drums came in the background. Like, see if I can point that out. Da 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 da, and when the music comes back in, you're going to hear the da 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 da. They kind of like match her. Cool. A little rhythmic nuance. The stage is crazy. That stage is crazy. Pyrotechnics, it's like, it looks like the design of the stage is bigger than the actual platform of the stage itself. Insane stuff. I wonder how much of that's being like superimposed onto the wall with like video. I gotta see Otto. Like, I'm in Thailand. I haven't seen evidence that she's coming anywhere near me anytime soon, but I gotta go see these shows. It looks amazing. This song is more upbeat than her typical song. Well, I mean, I say upbeat. What I mean by that is the rhythm is a little more driving. It's a little more like, there's like this heavy, like 4 on the floor, ba 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 pulse in it. Whereas in a lot of her other music, some of her rhythm has been a little more subdued, and the emphasis has been more on her voice. This song almost has like a dance-like feel to it. It started out with that sort of cowboy western, flamenco, Mexican kind of sound, you know, but then it's shifted into this sort of like driving, almost dance song. It's interesting. There's a very wide variety of genres being represented here, and with her vocalization over the top of it, it kind of gives it this a wild edge. As always, it's interesting. I'm always surprised with Otto's music. I never know what to expect. Nice legato, good line. Wow. That stage is crazy. Every time she does those screams, I know I get the same reaction. I'm like I just laugh, because it always comes out of nowhere, and it's just like she's in the middle of doing something, you hear this kind of thing. It's like, it's crazy. I don't get it. I don't know how she does it. I've given up trying to figure out those things with her. In case you did not know, it is harder than ever to grow on this platform. So please like and subscribe. It helps me out so much. On that note, I also am a professional singing teacher. I teach voice lessons for a living. Join my Discord server if you're interested in that kind of thing. I teach all the time. I'd be more than happy to give you a free assessment. It's totally free, 30 minutes, where you can get a good idea of where your voice is at, and we can game plan for the future from there. I also have a Patreon, I have memberships, I have a merch store, all kinds of ways that you can support this channel. Please consider supporting me. I would appreciate it so much. Thank you, and back to the video. Wow. What a spectacle. Great legato there, great sense of line, just leading right up into the head voice really quickly. Like, I'll kind of point and then do like that when she moves into the head voice. That's the head voice, yeah. Nice. Yeah, it's really hard. Oh or whatever she does, it's hard to keep the line going and then flip up into the head voice. That's really tricky because the muscles in the throat kind of have to switch gears really abruptly while you're still maintaining the same breath. So it's all happening on the same breath, and the vocal cords establish their amount of pressure that the muscles kind of engage them with based on the airflow that you're using. There's this concept called subglottal pressure I've talked about quite a bit, which is where it's the measurement or the amount of engagement that the diaphragm uses when it pushes the air from underneath the vocal cord. So the body kind of gets adjusted to that. So whenever she's in her chest voice, it's this very strong, firm pressure that's happening on the vocal folds. But whenever she flips up into the head voice, it all kind of loosens up a bit, but the airflow is the same. So the body has to make this very fast adjustment that lets her move up into that head voice as quickly as it does. It's crazy. I mean, you hear it with yodelers and things like that. And I've kind of hearkened Otto singing in the past, a kind of similar technique to what yodelers will do. But the hardest part of that is keeping the airflow consistent, because when the vocal cords have to make that change and adjust with the type of closure they're using, with the muscle groups they're using, the airflow stays the same. It's hard to make the pitches accurate as a result of it. So that's the most remarkable and difficult part of what you just heard Otto do. The fact that it was so in tune and it was so consistent, even though the thyroarytenoid muscle, which controls the firm cord closure for the chest voice, sort of let go, and the head voice cricothyroid sort of took over abruptly like that. That's super, super hard to do. That's insane. Nice melisma. Those are some really interesting vowel choices. Again, I don't know the language, so I can't really say what vowel she's trying to do, but I heard this really like open, and open is kind of a misused term sometimes. I think like people talk about open throat when they sing or whatever. It's not what I'm referring to here. I'm referring to like openness in terms of the vowel. So, you know, like when you look at the International Phonetic Alphabet, or IPA, you can kind of look at the different vowel types, and some of them are more open than others. So more open than others. So you had this like O, that kind of had this all kind of effect mixed in. Let me go back to it and listen to it again. Like like that vowel wasn't, it's not really an it's not but it's not either. It's some kind of hybrid in the middle. And then ma, that's another kind of weird vowel, because it's not and it's not and it's not It's like ma. It's very strange vowel choice. It's resonant. She had good vibrato. It was resonant. I don't ever use that vowel, so when I try to recreate it, you know, it doesn't feel, it feels foreign. I mean, it just doesn't feel like a vowel I calibrated my body to use. Part of developing the voice and becoming a more consistent singer is sort of learning how each vowel shape feels in the mouth. Like, for example, if I sing an E vowel, I know what that feels like. That's why it's resonant. I can feel the resonance at the top of my tongue, on my hard palate. I can feel the larynx lower. I can feel the pharynx kind of slightly push back a bit. And I know that that's how an E vowel sounds and feels. So, but when there's these vowels that I don't use, or they're kind of like outside the typical framework of like the cardinal vowels that I'll normally sing with, when I try to recreate them, it feels awkward and strange. And so that's another element of Otto's singing that's kind of puts her in a league of her own. She's like an alien. Some of her vowel choices are so different and unique, but they still are resonant, that I don't really know what blueprint she's using to make those vowel choices, but they work. There's nothing wrong with it. Like, as long as the vowel is resonant and the sound isn't being created using tension, it's fine. I just don't really know what baseline she's using to determine these vowels, and they come out as very unique and sort of different and hard to replicate. Same thing there, like very strange diphthong. Diphthong is whenever you move from one vowel to another on the same note. Strange. It's not bad. Like there's when it comes to diphthongs, I tell this to my students: as long as you're creating the sound of the source word, it's fine. Like if I sing the word hi, hi, like I'm saying hello to someone. Hi is how you say it, but you don't sing it like hi. You don't do that because that's like a weird vowel to lean on for the diphthong because the actual sound is hi, hi, and you hear that I into an E sound. So when you do a diphthong like that, you have to make sure that you're leaning on the stressed vowel and not the unstressed one. So as long as she's leaning on the stressed vowel, it's not damaging your voice to use a poor diphthong anyway. It just makes the word sound weird. But her diphthong there, like the vowel choices are so strange that I don't know the word, so I don't know which vowel is the appropriate one. So I'm just going with it, I guess. But yeah, it's just very strange, unusual vowel choices. Not bad. There are no bad vowels as long as you're, producing them in a healthy way. It's just interesting and different, and I don't really know what to make of it. 2, 3, 1. The pattern. It went into 3. Like, how does she decide? Like, how does she decide when she's just gonna squeal like that? Is this planned or does she just do it based on the moment? I haven't listened to this stuff in studio because, I'm kind of going through this auto journey in real time with you guys. So tell me in the comments, when you listen to this stuff in comparison to the studio recording, do those screams happen in the same place or does she seem to vary it up based on the environment? That's cool. Her music just has so much energy. Yeah, there's so much energy. I mean, that whole back, like 30 seconds of that song was so driving. And what's crazy that you guys have told me before is that some of these songs come after she's already sung 20 songs in a concert, like 3 hours in. I mean, like, that's not good for you. I'm just going to put it out there. Like, I hope she keeps her voice forever. But 3-hour shows, 2.5-hour long shows with this kind of vocal intensity, that is crazy. I hope in her shows there's some like instrumental time or there's some downtime for her. Because I mean, I just don't see how she's going to have that kind of vocal stamina. I mean, like I've used Mike Patton as the example many times, but he's managed to get away with it throughout his whole career, and but that just doesn't happen much. I hope Otto is able to maintain this stuff because this is crazy. I mean, every time I watch her, I just think like this girl is a phenom. She's one in a billion. There just aren't many. There aren't many people who sing like this. I've actually gotten various comments and I've had people message me and stuff saying like, oh, well, I can do this like Otto. I can sing that like Otto. But like, can you really? I want to hear these attempts to sing this like Otto because I just don't think it's that simple. I don't think you can just wake up and sing like Otto. I've been singing my whole life and training, and I can't sing like Otto, so I don't know. I'm curious to hear what that's all about. Anyway, this was fun. All of her songs are always fun. Give me some more recommendations. I still haven't watched Vivarium yet because other things keep popping up. Like when Monstruo came out, everyone was like, watch Monstruo. So next will be Vivarium. Unless something else happens with Otto, next will be Vivarium. So thank you all so much for watching. Please check out my Patreon if you want to support the channel. I'm a singing teacher. Join the Discord. We have all kinds of great discussions, and I'd love to work with you. Thanks, guys. Bye.